Hey guys, welcome back. We are in the book nook today. We're gonna do an actual book review. So let's get into this one. This author, Greg Olson, he writes fiction and nonfiction. And this book in particular that I'm going to talk to you about today, it's nonfiction, and it's a sad story. It is definitely what is classified as true crime. It's a sad story about a mother who is so selfish. She just treats her children horribly. And her husband, the father of one of the kids, turns a blind eye to it. Um, and it's funny, like, if you read this book, it's odd how manipulative she can be in such a manner that even grown adults fall victim to her. Uh, so this book is called If You Tell by Greg Olson, and it is fantastic. Let me tell you, I've read it like 3 or 4 times. My sister read it. I'm pretty confident my brother read it also, possibly. But I'm just going to read y'all the back of it. Let y'all know what we're looking at here. After more than a decade, the sisters Nikki, Sam, and Tori Notek hear the word mom and it claws like an eagle's talons, triggering memories that have been their secret since childhood. So basically, they lived in a farmhouse in Raymond, Washington with their sadistic mother, Shelley, who subjected the girls to crazy torture and degradation and psychic terrors. Really, like when you read this book, it's she messes with those kids' mind so so bad. Like, I couldn't imagine living in that kind of fear, walking on, I don't even want to say eggshells, like walking on broken glass. Really, like, no matter what you do, you're in the wrong with this lady. So they have finally grown up and decided to tell their story in this book. It's just, it's so wild. It's so wild. I just don't know how. And I know what happens in the world. I don't know how a mother can treat her kids like that. You know, even the most selfish of mothers. I don't know how you can treat your children like that. And as a man, a husband, a dad of girls, how do you let your girls go through that and not say anything and not do anything? And the craziest part about it is this man worked out of town. He could have easily, if he was in fear of his life from his wife, he could have easily called the police from out of town and had them go check on the well-being of those kids. Now when I say that other, like, adults fell victim to this woman, they did. Like, her best friend fell victim to this woman. And she was treated no differently than Shelley's own daughters. Her nephew she took in because he was homeless or whatever. He also fell victim to this woman. And it's just so sad. And to the outside world, she appears to have everything together and everything is going well. And inside, she's just a monster. She's just a monster. Like, there's no other way to put it. She's a monster. Um, at the end of this book, it does tell you what each the man and the woman got as far as prison sentences goes. Now, mind you, I read this when I was incarcerated. And I know that every state's different. I'm here in Texas, and obviously, sentencing per state is different. But I was in prison with women who had drowned their children and who had let men molest their children and molested their own children and things like that. And it's sad to say that sometimes they get less time for injuring a child than you would for injuring an adult. I mean, I just don't understand. I met a lady in there. I still have contact with her. I met her in the county jail. And I mean, we still write back and forth. I just sent her pictures last week. She was an accomplice to murder of an adult, of a woman. She aided in that. She helped in that. She got a 40-year sentence. A 40-year sentence. And then while I was there, I also met a woman who was. I try not to judge, but when you're in, I don't want to say a situation like that, but when you hear from someone's mouth how they inflict harm on their children, then you not judging is very difficult. So for this one particular individual, she had sexually assaulted her child. And from her own mouth, she said that her husband planted the seed and watered it and let it grow. So by then I'm looking at her like, trying not to say anything that I shouldn't say. But she didn't believe she did anything wrong. She believed that she was manipulated into molesting her child. I don't believe that for 1 second. She got 20 years. 20 years for molesting her own child. And my friend Jennifer was an accomplice to killing a grown adult, got 40 years. I think anything that has to do with kids or elderly should automatically hold a higher sentence, because it's like hurting an animal. They cannot defend themselves. So that's where I'm at on that point. But like I said, states are different. And for what she did to the people in this book, her and her husband, because he's not innocent either. For what they did to the people in this book, the amount of time that they got, is unreal. Like, it's downright a blatant slap in the face to the victims. There's 3, 4, 5, 6 victims of Shelley and her husband. And they got so little time, much less than they deserved. And if I was a victim in the manner that they were, I would feel like justice just slapped me hard. Like, I guess at a point, you get to a point as a victim like that, okay, so they went to jail, they've been convicted. Let me just go ahead and start my new life. I don't care. what happens anymore. But I just don't know how. I couldn't be that person. I couldn't be that person. So, like I said, this book, it's a great read. I've read it multiple times. It is gut wrenching. Um, it is a psychological stressor on your mind. Um, there are things in here that will haunt you as you lay in bed to go to sleep at night after you've read it. Um, like some of the things that I'm thinking about, like the way they describe it, you can see it. You can see it. Now, there's no pictures in this book like a standard true crime, um, but you don't need pictures. You don't need pictures reading this book. It gives you all the description that your mind needs to formulate your own pictures and your own thoughts. Now, this is this is not the only true crime that I've read by Greg Olson. Also read A Killing in Amish Country. That was really good, but not like this. I have read a bunch of his other books that are fiction, and they're really good. They've got you twisted up here, but nothing like this book here. So, with that being said, thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for your support. If you have not done so already, like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know what book you're reading. Maybe if it's something that I've already read, then you and I could, um, bat back and forth about what you think of it and what I think of it. If you guys want to follow me on TikTok, go ahead. It's Tracy Craft 1225 is how you can find me. I do book calls on there, and I'll start doing them here as well. But as it stands, as a general rule of thumb, I will be here every Saturday to drop a new book review for you guys. And in the meantime, if you're not subscribed, do so and check back with me, because throughout the week I will be dropping a coffee time and I will start doing a book haul on here. So you guys have a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day and be safe. Bye.